Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday, and we are back on this Wednesday with a whole lot of things moving and shaking. I'm feeling good. It's been really nice outside. The weather has been great. We're coming off of a great NXT show last night. Roadblock went down last night, and a really great cage match on Monday. It's been another great week of wrestling as we are full steam ahead on the road to WrestleMania, and I absolutely love it. I love the road that we are on. But you know, one thing that I enjoy doing, and this will be my first year doing it with her. This is going to be our first road to WrestleMania together for myself and my co-host as she returns here. She's divinely designed, Annie O'Neill. What is up, Annie?
What's up, Con? It's Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It's time to give it to everyone raw. Man, all is well in professional wrestling right now. We are trotting down the path to WrestleMania so quickly. I can't even believe that it's almost here.
Yeah.
It's like a little over a month away, and the next couple weeks are just gonna fly by even more. So, yeah. And you honestly, you never know what to expect on a Raw or SmackDown in between then. And NXT was awesome. It was really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so much to talk about. So much going on.
Most definitely a whole lot to talk about. And, you know, it's like you said, and you make a good point. I mean, the gloves are off here on this road to WrestleMania. Anything, we have seen it. We have seen it for the last couple of weeks. Nothing is safe. Whether it be we're thinking Rhea Ripley's road to WrestleMania is clear cut. She's defending the championship at WrestleMania. No. Here comes Io Sky to throw a wrench in everything. Now Io Sky looks to be on the road to WrestleMania as champion. I mean, just stuff
She
like
had to
that
get there
happening.
somehow, though.
Yeah,
she had to be involved in that match. Like, Io Sky has had a stellar year.
She's on
She
another
really
level right
has.
now.
Like, and how can that not be included at the championship at WrestleMania? It had to be. It had to be written this way.
Yeah, most definitely, and I'm glad that it did, because this is interesting. You have the addition of course, Bianca Belair and everything that she has going on. And I've said it before on the show. I mean, the performance that she had at the Elimination Chamber was one for the books, in my opinion. To deal with everything that she had to deal with emotionally at the beginning of that Elimination Chamber match, and still managing to find her way through and win it. That's just, to me, that's a GOAT status right there. I mean,
It's
that's
easy
just
when you
insane.
might have manufactured it all yourself, so you can pre-program an emotional response. I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. We're willing to do crazy things to achieve the greatness that we want. And
You thinking Bianca still got something to do with it?
I feel like just based there was something that she said in the in her promo or in her interview after Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot what the words um she said specifically, but it put me on my like it blipped across my radar, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not language you would use if
Okay.
you were truly like emotionally impacted. Like it sounded
Yeah.
concocted in my head.
Okay.
And I'm like, and then Naomi's confession, it just seemed like, she would just do anything for that friend and she was manipulated. Like, someone who has that amount of loyalty to someone, I just felt that translate through Naomi's disposition.
So real quick. You know
Yeah.
what I find so interesting
Uh-huh.
about WrestleMania season
Mhm.
is that it, especially in this day and age, where I mean, there should be no argument right now. We're in the most profitable, most viewed, most. It's crazy to say this. I can't believe I'm
Mhm.
about to say this. Most mainstream generation of wrestling. I mean, I thought we peaked at the Attitude Era. I really did. I really did. But here we are again. Wrestling is cool again. It's where it's at. I
Mhm.
want to say this. I'm so happy that we're in a time at WrestleMania season where what you're saying right now, you've got my ear because anything is on the table.
Yep.
They're not playing around anymore. Like anything is on the table. Not even the fact that how come every time I see Naomi, Bianca, and Jade, Naomi and Bianca, they're wearing black and Jade is wearing white. And then they inversed it another time, and
Yes.
they were wearing
Yes.
white, and she was wearing black. And I'm like, oh,
But see,
this is the shit.
you're paying attention on every level. All of your senses are engaged. Like you're gonna stop the doom scroll and you're gonna pay attention, because if you don't, you
You're
missed
gonna
it
miss something.
completely. And there was
This
one
is not.
outfit. There
I'm
was one
telling
outfit
you,
that Jade was wearing, and it looked like it had blood spatter on it.
that was fire. Yeah, that
I'm
was a
like,
fire outfit.
and when she came out at Elimination Chamber, her eyes looked pitch black. Like her
Yeah,
pupils were dilated. Like she was a different animal of Jade Cargill.
and it's so funny. It's so funny because like as long as she is solid in the ring, they gave her a layup to be the next top star. Because here's the thing. Jade, when she was Terminator Jade in AEW, she was just plowing through fools like Goldberg with no
Mhm.
reason. You
Mhm.
know, there was no story to it.
Yeah.
But now that they've given her a situation where, oh, on one random out the blue SmackDown in November, she gets pushed off of a ledge onto
Mhm.
onto a windshield, and
Mhm.
now here she comes months later
Mhm.
in March at Elimination Chamber
Mhm.
with fire in her eyes, ready to come for Naomi and to destroy her. Now you have a reason to have Terminator Jade.
Mhm.
You have there's a
Yes.
story behind it now.
Like you said, it's a perfect layup. It really is. I mean, what strikes more at the core um than being betrayed by people you consider family?
Yeah,
Like, I relate to that. Do you relate to that, Con?
I do.
We're on the hook. And WWE is reeling it in.
And it's not. Here's the thing. It's simple. It's simple
It
storytelling.
is. It
It's
is.
simple. It's really easy. Like it's easy to digest. It's something that people can get behind. You don't got to be overly convoluted. Like I really feel like that a lot of times Like when Vince was in charge, he was just like trying to, he made us feel like we were stupid, like it would not be well thought out. And then if he'd be like, oh, well, if there's a storyline idea that I had and I'm just not into it anymore, we're just not going to do it. Nobody's going to care. Like when people are like, why did that just stop happening? Like we're not there anymore. We're in a time where if you're watching a backstage promo, you have to pay attention to the people
Yes.
behind the
Yes.
promo. That's where we're at. That's where
And
we're at.
and on last week's episode, I forgot who's being interviewed, but there was, I think it was Ivy Nile talking to Natty.
Yeah.
Like, huh? Why?
Why are they talking? What are they talking
Right.
about?
Right. Because
In the Vince era, if you saw two people in the back that weren't spotlighted talking, you would just think like, oh, they weren't supposed to be in that shot.
right. Right.
Now it's purposeful.
Right. It goes beyond people watching uh physical combat in a ring, and like it's expanded on so many levels, and it's so interesting. It's
It is.
you're really getting a multi-dimensional experience, which I
Yeah.
fully enjoy.
I really enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And we're off to the races here on the Raw deal. And before we get any further, because I still have to get some of your thoughts on some other
Mhm.
things, I got to go to the comments here. We got the voice, Josh Joseph. He's in there showing a little love. We
What's
have
up?
What is up, man? We got Natasha Jack over on Twitch saying,
What's
hey, how's
up?
it going? What is up? Thanks for joining us. And if you got any questions or any thoughts, just, hey, put it here in the chat. Give us a like, a subscription, and a follow. We'd be truly appreciative. But before I really ask you what I want to ask you, because we have to get your thoughts on
Mhm.
it, you're our one of our regular weekly hosts here on IYH that we haven't got the thoughts of what happened with John Cena. We're most definitely going to, but on the second half of this episode, we're gonna debut a new game, a new little thought exercise here that I am calling "Help Me Understand," and we're gonna get into it a little bit more on the second half of this episode, but uh Annie, I gotta ask you because we're talking about everything that's going on with the WWE, the amazing time that we're in right now in wrestling, period. Like it's an awesome time in wrestling right now, period. But I gotta ask you because it's the biggest thing, it's the elephant in the room. It doesn't matter how amazing other things are or not, the yada yada yada. The elephant in the room is John Cena. He turned heel at Elimination Chamber there in Canada. I got to ask you, when it happened, when you saw it in that moment, what was going on through your mind and where are you at with it right now?
It looked like someone was being triggered by their MK Ultra experience. Just just the reaction John Cena was giving while he was watching The Rock, and it looked like someone who's being I don't know, coached. They're following like something that triggers them into hypnotic trance, and then they're just at the will of that person.
Yeah.
But how much was John Cena's free will at play? Um, he planted the seeds, I think, right before our eyes. And you have to pay attention not only just while you're watching the episodes, but on Twitter, Instagram, the press junkets, because any opportunity someone is in front of the camera, they're planting seeds.
Yeah.
And it was at after Rumble when John Cena didn't win. And like there was a different iteration of John Cena I don't know if I've ever really seen before. He looked like he made up his mind. Like
Yeah.
he at any cost he would do what he had to do to win. And it looked like the look of a man who would sign a Faustian bargain to get what his heart desire was. And that comes at great costs. So, and we were really debating like if we wouldn't get Codelander, then who would be the corporate overlord? Who would sell their soul for a suit and tie? Who? And if it wasn't going to be Punk, there was only one other option to really shine that babyface light again on Cody Rhodes, because I think Cody was coming up
Mm,
into a point where people were starting to get bored of him.
yep.
And but he's a great champion. I really really appreciate Cody Rhodes, but nostalgia is only going to get you so far. Sentimentality is only going to get you so far. We need something to build Cody up again.
Yeah.
And who better than that than John freaking Cena?
Yep.
And I if I was 13 years old and I was watching this, I would be devastated.
Yep. Yep. A
John
lot of kids
Cena,
were.
yep, I would. I've seen videos and reels on Facebook of kids throwing their John Cena toys away, tearing down their posters, throwing out their t-shirts. I would have had a very similar reaction. But, now that my frontal cortex is solidified and I see a lot bigger picture of the world than I formerly did, I want to see true human nature at play.
Yeah.
What is the driving motivator for someone to get what they want? What are they willing to give? And it's really interesting when you peel back that layer. What thoughts really fire in that central nervous system? Because people are a lot of things.
Yep.
And John Cena has he has an excellent track record. The light beams out of his asshole, really. Like he the things that he's done for human beings is quite amazing. But there's also a possibility he is also the shadow of that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome, quite honestly. Because I want to see uh when someone is too perfect, I want to see their flaws.
Yeah.
Who are they when the cameras are off and the lights are down? What lower based emotions still occupy the brain? And I just thought it was really, really, really interesting because I didn't think we were going to get the goodbye tour that uh, humans want for Sentimentality 6. That's boring. The days of us getting what we want is over. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, quite honestly.
Yes. No. Yeah, well said on all levels, honestly. I mean, and here's the thing, like going back to what you said about the kids, throwing away all the gear and everything and feeling, but you know what, going to that, it's like, yeah, like it sucks to kind of see, but also it's like there's something magical about that too, because they believed, like, and that's what wrestling is. Like wrestling is that moment where, you could be on your highest of highs, but it can also take you on your lowest of lows. Like my son was pissed when Cena turned. I mean, this kid had a whole birthday, a John Cena birthday, when he was like, yeah, when he was like 3 or 4, like a whole John Cena birthday. He was pissed, and
And
he's 15 years old, and I remember I was 15 when Stone Cold joined Triple H and Vince McMahon, and Stone Cold was the ultimate good guy. And we're like, why is he turning bad? What's going on? What is happening? I remember that night when I saw that, I was pissed. I was upset.
yes, yes,
But that's the thing. Like we're finally at a point that I never thought we can get to again in wrestling, is that people are suspending their disbelief.
it's
Like
it's about all about moments. Things
yeah,
are going to make you emotionally connect, and that's not always in a positive way.
Yeah, yep.
And in fact, you give a shit more when you're angry, when you're betrayed.
Yep.
Yep, because you're more inclined to react. And that's the entire purpose of it. And I just thought it was skillful. And I
It's
and
very.
and you know what? People are still gonna watch. But in that moment, when I saw John Cena's happy face, uh honestly, it was like it was weird. Just the countenance that went over his face. It was his acting has gotten very good. It really has.
Acting.
Acting, but yeah, but that was the moment millions of children were traumatized. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is what, man, it's so good because, like, it sent shockwaves through an already thriving WWE. It's like, it's almost putting a hat on a hat because it's like, here's the thing. They didn't need to do this. They
mhm.
didn't need to turn John Cena heel. They chose to do it. Like, if they there's a lot of different ways they could have went, and it still would have been a great WrestleMania because this is the most profitable, most watched, most stacked talent roster. I mean, they're still gonna knock it out of the park. But the fact that they decided to take it to
Mhm.
this level where, I mean, even and I'm okay with it. Here's the thing. I'm fine with being hooked in. I firmly believe that there was no way. I'm like, no, we're not going to see John Cena be heel in his last year. That doesn't even make sense. He's gonna be a baby face. He's going to
We've
have this
also said the same
nostalgic
thing
run.
about Bianca Belair.
Yep. Yep. I'm
But you
telling
know
you.
who can also stand to sell more T-shirts? Io Sky.
Yeah. Yeah. Io's amazing. I love Io.
Yeah,
She's awesome. But like I
right.
said, this whole John Cena thing, like, and listen,
Different
when
level.
Mon- when Monday comes around, I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the most must see episodes of Monday Night Raw because people is going to be like, "What music is he coming out to? What's he going to wear? What's he going to say?" Like, in one moment, John Cena made himself one of the most compelling men in wrestling, and now it's like, oh well, Cena's not going to show up for 2 weeks because he has a movie. Well, you know what? I'm glad that pisses you off because guess what? He's a heel.
And it's one of the things about human nature that a lot of people are unaware of. The more you react, the more that people are going to use it against you.
Yep.
So you're just digging yourself deeper by reacting. So if you don't tune in, then we don't have a show. But then um we wouldn't like that's one of the reasons why we watch, because we want to feel.
Yep.
And did
It's
you?
true.
I forgot what match it was during, but then there was a John Cena chant going on. But then how the crowd was responding was interesting because some people were yelling "Let's go Cena," and the other half was yelling "Cena sucks." So it's gonna be interesting when he comes out what type of reaction he'll get.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be like, I can tell you now, like, I've said it for years on this show. If you can get me off my phone and looking at the screen, something that many have done really well over time, whether it be somebody like Roman Reigns. Anytime Roman Reigns came out, I was paying attention. Bray Wyatt, anytime he came out, I was paying attention. CM Punk, anytime he came out. There's just certain guys. It's like and that's going to be that moment when it's that time for Cena to come out. We're about to try to hear what music is gonna play, his cadence coming out to the ring, the words, the way he's going to say things, his intentions. What are his intentions? Why did he do what he did? Everything with
And
John
is it
Cena.
next week?
It's this coming Monday. He'll be back.
Okay. In Brussels because they're in Europe for a few
Yes,
weeks. What they'll
yes,
be in
and those.
Glasgow and next week in Brussels and
Yeah.
I don't
They
know
got
where.
yeah, it's their European, so I have to pull it up and see.
Sure.
But I do got to run to the comments here real quick because I got Grundmeister coming in here. He says this entire WrestleMania season is all about suspending your disbelief and has got me so invested in everything, and that's awesome.
The person I couldn't stop thinking about during that moment. Oh my god, what is Grun thinking? What is he
Yep,
thinking? Is he
yep.
crying?
He's oh my gosh. I think we all thought about Grun. I
We did.
swear I think we all thought about Grun. Then Grun goes on to say, could that have been fans doing it just for old time's sake? Or do some people really don't care and want Cena to win no matter what? So, it's the chance he's talking about the chance of let's go Cena. Cena sucks. I'm not sure. It's just going to be interesting because everything that he's about to do and say, and while you have, listen, I truly believe that the Cody butterfly effect needs to be studied because, like, let's put it for what it is. This guy left the company, and when he left the company, he had a hand in creating the competition. He came back and made himself the guy who ended the most historic title reign in modern day history. He made The Rock turn heel. He made John Cena turn heel. There's something about the Cody effect that just fucks the whole system up. And while I agree there was a time where his title reign was
Energy
boring,
vampire. He just sucks the goodness out of them and uses it to power his own life battery. Boom.
there you go. There it is right there. That's it. That's it
Codinator.
right
Yep.
there. It's
Ultimate
that
heel
Cody.
move. You would never know. But
Exactly.
we
That's gonna
cracked
make
the
his heel
case
turn
here.
hit hard.
We cracked the code on the Raw deal with Howse.
Most definitely. That's gonna make once all that gets figured out, that's gonna make the Cody heel turn hit super hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's where we're going. I think we are gonna see a Cody heel turn. I think it's gonna come. I truly do. But I think that Cody, here's the thing: Cody's smart enough to know that right now is not the time. Because everything that I was reading, you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. But everything that I was reading is that Rock really did want Cody to turn heel, but Cody said no, that he declined it because he was trying to solidify himself as the top babyface, and that's when they pivoted and went with Cena. And this doesn't happen if Cena's not down with it.
And I was
And
just about to say that. I wonder how willing he was to play ball.
sure. Sure, this doesn't happen if he's not down with it, and
Right,
plus,
right.
plus in the way that he did it, like you said, you noted like his facial expressions, like the way he reacted, like when he went from jovious, joyful Cena to this stern, angry, determined,
Like he was void of
man.
all humanity. Like,
Exactly. Like you don't invest that much into this heel turn if you're not 100% down with it. And I think that he is.
and you know what? Maybe he's gonna walk the crooked path back to being a face. I mean,
That's, you know what?
who doesn't love a
That's
good redemption arc?
exactly. That's a whole nother thing. I think at the end of the day, I don't think this is going to be linear. I don't think that
Mm-mm.
John Cena is going to be healed this entire last year. If this
I don't think
truly is his retirement, I don't. I think this is going to be a story of like, hey, even good people make bad decisions from time to time.
because that's a human in us all. And if someone is
Yep.
too perfect, do we really like them?
Right.
No.
Because guess what? The minute something bad comes out about
Mhm.
them, there's going to be so many people to, I knew it all along. I knew he
Right.
was this. I knew he
Right.
was that. So you might as well just humanize yourself because, you know, uh,
Exactly.
getting to that point, people were just waiting to tear you down.
Hmm. I mean, like, even like Gunter's incredible streak, it had to come to an end at some point.
Yep.
So, I mean, can't be a good guy all the time.
Nope. You got to be
I
your
mean,
real self.
right. I mean, humans are pleasure centered creatures. We want what we want when we want it. And sometimes how we get there isn't always rational.
It's true. It
I
is
mean,
true. We
you
got
never
Nick in the
know.
chat
Right.
here.
What's
Real quick,
up?
he's saying, "What's going on, everyone? Hey, House and Annie, what is up, Nick? We're talking a whole lot of the road to WrestleMania here and
Mm,
John Cena and whatnot. And here in a minute, we're gonna play a game here. So hopefully you can stick around with us, Nick, as we play Help Me Understand. And we're about to do that here in a second. But I will say this: the John Cena heel turn, big, huge. We're going to see where it goes Monday when he returns to the show. But we definitely had to get your thoughts on it because, I mean, with everything that's going on already on the road to WrestleMania, we're going to dig deep into it with this thought exercise. I just had to get your thoughts and see where you thought we were going leading up to WrestleMania.
sounds good. That was
Yeah,
yeah, and I can't wait to see what else emerges
yeah,
on the
for
way.
sure.
Because I mean, anything can happen at this point.
That's where we're at, and I
Hmm.
thoroughly enjoy that. But I know what's going to happen at this point, and at this point, we're going to take a little break, pay a few bills. Then when we come back, we're going to play Help Me Understand. I'll get all the rules down together for that. But yeah, that's going to be on the other side of this break.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th. And we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar. Or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials. And it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, aka Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, the raw deal with House and O'Neill, to be specific. And we've already had a really good episode so far, but now we're on the other side of this episode here. And before we get into it, guys, make sure that you give us a follow and subscription and whatnot. Hit a like and follow us. You can listen to us here on YouTube, or on Facebook, on Twitch, and then on the podcast version. You can hear us on Spotify, you can hear us on Apple. And real quick, before we get into the game here, I put into the group chat our brain trust, as it were, with all of our creators here at In Your House. And we are a top 100 podcast on Apple Podcasts in New Zealand.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, New Zealand. I'm not familiar with y'all's customs, but thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Obviously, you guys are rocking with us. So, If you guys find us, put a little comment there, give us 5 stars and whatnot, and give us a comment. Let us know where you're
Yeah.
from. We would definitely like to get a little bit of insight on who's listening to us over there in New Zealand, and we appreciate it. We got Grunmeister saying thanks, Dakota Kai. Who knows? Dakota Kai might listen to In Your House. You
She
never
should
know.
listen to In Your House.
Most definitely she should.
Should.
Most definitely she should.
Everyone
And if she listens to us, she knows that we talk fondly about Dakota Kai around here.
We love some DK over here.
Yes,
I
for
won't.
sure.
I won't make that a running thing, but I just wanted to say it.
She's the captain of kicks. Listen, and probably a future intercontinental champion, but we'll talk about that at a later time when that comes across, because now we got to play a game here. Annie, this thought exercise, this game here is called Help Me Understand.
I love helping people understand.
Yeah, so that it's perfect then. We're in a perfect position here. So, and this is going to be kind of a challenge. I've thrown some challenges at you, but the point of the game is this: whether it be one thing or another thing, or something that, why is it still here? Why is it still happening? I need you to help me understand why one thing is better than another thing, why something is still happening. I need you to convince me. Now, this isn't about right or wrong. This isn't about your personal thought process. I just need you to convince me. Convince me why this one thing is better than another thing. Convince me why this storyline or this stable is still happening. Just convince me. You got it?
I got it.
All right. All right. So we'll start this here. And I have let me see, get my notes up here. There we go. I got like 6 of these things. So here we go. All right. So, Annie, I need you to help me understand.
Hey.
I was at the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble was an amazing time. I had a blast. And Jey Uso shocked everybody and won the Royal Rumble. We won it. And now we know that he is going up against Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. We were all excited. This was the most awesome thing. Main event Jey Uso. 5 years of hard work, being the guy for Roman Reigns, being the right hand to the tribal chief, to leaving the family and going to Monday Night Raw, becoming the Yeet Man, and just finding his way. And we're all excited about that. That was amazing. And then along comes the thing that we talked about earlier, and that's John Cena coming for number 17 of a WWE Undisputed Championship that Cody Rhodes holds, and he's doing it in a whole new light. So I need you to help me understand, why on earth should I care more about Uso and Gunther over Cody and Cena?
Because this opportunity for Jey Uso has been a long time coming. He is one of those people, like, just because you don't see it right now doesn't mean it's never going to happen. Yeah, he's been accused of being a tag team guy, falling in the shadow of Roman Reigns, but he is in this opportunity where he is going to cook. He's getting the John Cena treatment, like he has been for he's had the last 20 years. And we are seeing that play out right now in the present moment. And building layers, it takes time. And with the advent of social media, our attention span is short. So things have to, they have to be planted and then they have to bloom. And I feel like, okay, I'm gonna make controversial statement, but stick with me and you'll go far.
Okay.
So that archetype that Stone Cold and The Rock were 30 years ago, they were men of the people. You wanted to see them win. You wanted to see what they were going to do. And I feel like Jey Uso needs to have that depth is being added week after week. And give it 5 more years and he'll be really solidified as one of those people. I see it. Why else would he be in this position? You know, there are reasons why. There are people smarter than the common wrestling fan who make these decisions. And while we are tuning in week to week, they see the future. Because, well, they are the people who make those decisions. And I trust it. And I think we have to delay gratification on this one. Just because he might not have the things all written down on paper right now doesn't mean he won't. But like most of us, we need to take our time. But he's been walking that path, like you said, for the last 5 years. And I think that deserves the best of opportunities. And who else then who can help elevate him to that level of greatness than Gunther? Like, the prestige that he brings when he steps in the ring. He doesn't have to do anything complicated. He just exudes excellence. And whether you love him or hate him, you're going to respect him. And I think setting someone like Jey Uso to potentially take that belt off Gunther at Mania, who knows if it's going to happen? I don't know. Anything could change at this point. Some things are obvious, and then we think we know, and we have no idea. But just the trajectory that Jey Uso is on, you're going to have to tune in. And, you know, yeah, the Cody and Cena storyline, it holds a lot of weight. But Jey Uso is setting us up for not only the present, but the future, because John Cena, he's retiring. Who's going to carry WWE into new generation? Jey Uso is a pretty good candidate.
Hey, that's fair. I like that answer. I like that answer. Jey Uso most definitely has solidified himself as a top babyface. He moves merchandise. He puts out quality matches, and I just think he's going to get rewarded for that. And by saying, I believe he's going to get that title at WrestleMania. But yeah, I think that is a match that you're going to have to watch. And most definitely, with everything going on with Cody and Cena, this is going to be huge. Don't get me wrong. This is going to be huge. But I think the biggest thing that we're going to see, something is going to continue. I think there's a good chance that Cena could take the title off of Cody at the end of WrestleMania and to continue whatever storyline Cena is doing, because there was a chance where I was like, he's not going to win. There's no way he's going to win number 17 this early. Now with him being a heel, I think there's a chance. And with him being the guy who's going to stand tall, I think you need the big pop. The big pop comes from Jey Uso beating Gunther. And I think that at the end of the day, we could understand that they really did put a lot into this Gunther and Jey Uso storyline, more than what I think people see right now.
I agree.
Because it seems very simplistic. But yeah,
no one thinks he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah. So I just want to bring up the comments. We got Nick saying, you should not care. Jey is going to open night 1 of Mania if they are smart. Get the crowd hot earlier. That match is no closer for Mania. Most definitely not. That's not closing WrestleMania. Nope. I think you might be onto something. Who knows? They might have it main event night 1, or they might have a women's match main event night 1. I think I don't know. I can't stand. It's too early to tell you what the card lineup is going to be because we're still not super solid on the card itself. But I
think it's going to be an opening match of one.
You do think so?
I don't think it's going to close.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to close.
We've got Grunmeister saying, because Gunther in this story is the bully. He is the star player who puts in more time and more work than everyone else. Yes, he was given a lot more opportunities, but time and time again, he proves that he belongs in that spot. So much so that now he doesn't believe he can be knocked off the pedestal.
And I think that descent from that pedestal makes a really compelling storyline too.
Yes.
Because like I said earlier, everything has to come to an end. Not everything lasts forever.
Most definitely. No, I like it. I like it. We're getting some thoughts from Annie. We're getting some thoughts from the chat here. All right, so all right, that's getting me in the right direction that this game is
Mm-hmm.
working out. We're good. We're
Mm-hmm.
good. All right, all right. So we're gonna jump to the second one here. This one is a little bit tough. I even had troubles trying to justify it myself, but I'm gonna put it to you like this. One thing I've been talking about on the show, whether it be the Sunday House Party or on this show, is the thriving tag team division on SmackDown. I mean, it is at a time where there's so much tag teams that are putting themselves in the conversation now legitimately. Of course, you have DIY. Of course, you have the Motor City Machine
Mm-hmm.
Guns. You have those names there. You got the Street Profits that are in the mix, and then you have other teams coming up such as Pretty Deadly, with Los
I like
Garzos.
They're
I like,
entertaining. Yeah.
yeah, Los
Anyway, okay.
Garzos.
We'll go before we pop off on another ADHD tangent because we will. Go
Yes,
ahead.
most
Did you-
definitely, most definitely. but my point is, the tag
Yeah.
team division is thriving.
It is,
It's thriving right now on SmackDown, and right now we're on Monday Night Raw. I believe the current champions are the War Raiders. And it's I can see the vision for the SmackDown WrestleMania match, SmackDown Tag Team WrestleMania match. I could see like a 4-team, maybe ladder match or something like that. Not so much on Monday Night Raw side of things, where you do have teams that are starting to build themselves up and whatnot. I mean, the New Day is really still trying to establish whatever, because they had a big thing going with the Big E thing, and then I just don't think it's gone anywhere since then. It's got but you got them. You got the Creed brothers there in the mix. And you have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee with the LWO. You got those. So help me understand why should I care about the Raw Tag Team division over the SmackDown Tag Team division?
Oh man, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one. Okay, let's see. Well,
that was tough.
Well, okay. Give me a second. Let me cook. Well, you still have amazing tag teams in prevalent in the Judgment Day. You have Dominic Mysterio, and you have Carlito. That's a rousing ragtag hot tag team. I'm having trouble with this one, but
tag me in.
Tag you in. Okay, go ahead. I tag you in.
All right. So I'm gonna help you out with this, because here's the thing: while SmackDown does have thriving tag teams, I see the vision with Monday Night Raw. It's just not clear right now, because I'll tell you one thing: the Creed brothers showed out in the match that they had. I mean, they're really good.
Yeah,
they're really good. I don't know the direction of the New Day right now, but come on, Annie, let's not forget. It's the freaking New Day, one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history.
Those facts still haven't changed.
Those facts still haven't changed. I don't really know what they're doing with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. I can't really speak to that one too much because I don't see them touching gold, but I understand the need that they need tag teams. So it makes sense why they'd be together right now.
And
all I'm saying is
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. All I'm saying is while the vision isn't clear, is because I've been watching SmackDown, and I got to tell you, they've done a really damn good job of building their tag team division. They really have. While I think that they're still molding things over on the Raw side of things, I think that because here's the thing: the tag team championships got no love when JD and Finn were holding them, and that wasn't their fault. They weren't booking them correctly.
And at the same time, there were so many elements of the women's division being bolstered. So the indirect consequence is that something has to take a back seat, but that's just sometimes how the booking falls, and it's no fault of anyone, but for someone else to take the spotlight that they deserve, it's going to have to be taken off something else.
Sure. Absolutely. And we've talked about that on the show before,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
remember, I can think for the last month, it's got to be two, I'd say at most two, at least two times that the women's tag team championships has main evented a Raw or a
Right.
SmackDown.
Right.
You know, because
It's
they
been
can
multiple
travel
times.
between both shows. So yes, while it stinks that the Raw tag team division is thriving as the SmackDown tag team division, sometimes there's got to be some subtraction
Right.
to have some addition. And I think that this Raw Tag Team Championships have suffered from that, but I don't think that they're completely dead in the water. They have solid tag teams. They just need to string it together in a way that SmackDown has. SmackDown's made all their tag teams matter in some kind of way, and that's because they've been telling stories through their tag teams.
And I do feel like yeah, that's where a lot of the storyline element is being driven right now. I think a lot of that is in the plans, but there's so much going on in other prominent storylines that there's not a lot of opportunity for that right now. I mean, the last couple shows, I feel like Raw's been under 2 hours, just barely.
It's you know what? I think they've been like the 2 hour to 2:15 mark is where they've been at.
Mm-hmm.
It's really been, because I was watching one, I was like, dang, it's already time for the cage match, which was a banger, by the way. Just want to say that the cage match was a banger.
Good. Excellent.
And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that because it's included in here. But yeah, there's just so much things going on in the tag team division. I think that there has an opportunity for them to bring it back. I just want to run to the comments real quick. Grun says the War Raiders came back at a bad time, which I agree with, but that doesn't mean they aren't performing well, whether it be promos or in-ring work. The Raw tag team division is the sleeper cell. Plus, Mr. Sierra Miedo is likely going to have a friend who will help him rise from the ashes to be the top tag team on Raw. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And that's going to be very interesting, because I know he's talking about his brother Ray Phoenix. You know, and I think that if these are rumors, once again, we take all that stuff with a grain of salt with the dirt sheets, but there are rumors that we could see Ray Phoenix soon in WWE. And I will tell you this for sure. I love what Grunmeister said. On top of everything that we did, if you're trying to sell me, if you're trying to help me understand why I care about the Raw tag team division more than the SmackDown tag team division, I will buy stock. If I will buy stock in the Raw tag team division, if Ray Phoenix shows up and Ray Phoenix and Penta enter the Raw tag team division.
And you know, to the War Raiders' credit, they are carrying the Raw tag team division right now.
It's true. It's true. Grandmaster says Lucha Bros versus War Raiders. Take my money. I'm sure that's happened in Japan or at Ring of Honor or something. Let's run it back. Let's do it. Most definitely. I love it. I think that the Lucha Bros, and it's perfect for Penta right now. Like, Penta being in the tag team division, that's a good little spot for him right now, especially if Ray comes in. I like it. I like that a lot. Definitely.
I think Penta being in a tag team, you're going to increase his longevity because he doesn't have to do a lot of the singles matches.
Sure.
So yeah. I think that'll prolong his in-ring career. I mean, he shows no signs of slowing, but I think that's just smart.
I agree. I most definitely agree with that. And, you know, we got WrestleMania coming up here very, very soon. We're talking about the tag team divisions, but, you know, we talk about guys who have been over to Japan and Ring of Honor and whatnot. Like I was saying, I want to talk about a guy who has been to all those places and he's looking for something to do at WrestleMania. That's AJ Styles. AJ Styles is looking like that he's gonna have a match at WrestleMania. It's looking against Logan Paul.
I
You
like
had Andrew Scholes, comedian coming out from New
such
York because it was an MSG.
such a good moment of the night
It
when
was fun. I thought Scholes was good on the mic too.
when you give Andrew Schultz a microphone, it's a live wire. It really is. I really enjoy Andrew Schultz. Check out his new stand-up
So-
though. It's hilarious, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay, okay. All right,
It's
I'll
only
check
about an
that out
hour.
sometime.
Yep.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, something to check out for sure. All right. But as much as I'm hearing great things about him, and that's awesome. But I need you to help me understand because I enjoy AJ Styles. I love him. I don't think we got a whole lot of time left with AJ Styles in the next few years. So what I need you to help me understand is this. What is the lure behind AJ Styles versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania?
Because you want to see Logan Paul's face pulverized and by someone who's going to do it well. And that is going to be AJ Styles. But who can match Logan Paul energetically in the match, and who's going to pull that out of him but AJ Styles? I think that's going to be really fun. And I really thought they had a really great segment. They had really good chemistry. Who else is going to level Logan Paul's arrogance than someone who's so grounded other than AJ Styles? I want to see it. Like, I absolutely detest Logan Paul for many reasons. But he's good. I recognize him for what he is and what his purpose is. And that's pretty indisputable. It really, really, really is. But who do you want to see him kick his ass? And then someone who'd be, like I said, really good at it. It's going to be AJ Styles.
I'm convinced. You helped me understand for sure. I like that. As much as it's weird in terms of like these two going up against each other, I really do think that it's going to be a great opportunity for Logan Paul to go up against somebody, like you said, who does his shit well, consistently clean. It's just going to be a great opportunity for Logan Paul to better himself. And what are you over there laughing at? What is happening?
You can tell when someone hasn't had a strong positive relations with their fathers, and that's present in Logan Paul to me. And who else than to put that bad kid in timeout than Daddy Styles?
Hey, no. That's it. I like it. You know what? It's a good story. And I think they're going to produce a good match. Two guys who could fly across the ring. They're awesome. But yeah, I think that, all right, the lore is there. I'm in now. I'm in for that. But listen, here's one thing that I'm not completely in on. I'm not sold on, because I've been talking about it on this show for a while, and I think we've talked about it. And the dissolvement of the Judgment Day. So I can't tell if they're getting along, if they're not. You have Dominic Mysterio talking about bringing in new members, Finn saying no. Dominic Mysterio is handing him Intercontinental Championship.
That felt like a setup, right?
Yeah, like I can't tell what's going on. So I see Grunt's comment there. I'll get to it here in a second. But I want to know, help me understand, why are we keeping the Judgment Day together?
Because I feel like at this point it helps people who might be kind of lost get on their 2 feet. Like, it was an excellent opportunity for Raquel Rodriguez. She's now
Oh, yeah.
one half of a tag team championship.
With a
I think that
purpose.
was right. And especially, when she came back from she has an autoimmune disease. She was dealing with a lot of repercussions of that.
Right.
And it gave her a strong, solid spot. What would Carlito be doing without Judgment Day?
Great question.
And how about Finn Balor and JD McDonough?
Another great
JD
question.
McBobblehead. Yeah. And I think it's serving its purpose right now. Just because it's a transitory stable, it still serves its purpose. You need people to put up against New Day to help build them up. And they all in a presence together, they bring a lot of heat. You still need that. And I feel like it gives Dominic Mysterio still a solid identity. Because even after when the Judgment Day dissolves, he's still going to be hated. But people need to associate you with something. Otherwise, you run the risk of falling in to obscurity. And I feel like Finn Balor might inevitably be ejected from Judgment Day.
Yeah.
He said that there were no leaders, but he's kind of acting like a pompous tyrant. So what better storyline for it to branch off in another direction than a mutiny? And then he has plausible cause to be more of the backstabber Balor. Whatever, it'll set him up as a stronger singles competitor.
Hey,
So
I mean, I see the vision here. I mean, you make good points with. I mean, and here's the thing. I'm not totally against the Judgment Day. I
we
just
need
want
tag
them to
teams in the
have
Raw division. So
true, very true, very true. I just want them to have direction.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
right,
Like,
for sure.
and
For sure.
I celebrate the Judgment Day. I truly do. It got JD McDonough consistent television time. We got a chance to
Mhm.
see the great worker that he is. We all know the badass that Raquel Rodriguez is in all different facets. Whether it be in the ring or fighting. The skin illness that she was dealing with. Great chance for her to get back in the light, have a reason, have a purpose, and now she's a tag team champion again. Carlito he doesn't need to do much. He's just funny and he's there, and that's kind of what's needed. He's almost like the R-Truth of Judgment Day in a way. He's just there for those funny one-liners, get you laughing. Finn has something to frustrate him. That frustrated Finn is likely best Finn if we're talking about it. Dominic, you know what? I like the fact that even I believe it was on Raw. It was Raw on Netflix.
Mhm.
The debut where it seemed like that after Rhea Ripley won the title back, you had Dominic Mysterio seemingly trying to rekindle with her. And then the way that Liv reacted to it and how pissed she was. And I think everybody was saying, oh, this is about to be the dissolvement of the Judgment Day. She's acting pissed off because he was trying to get back. But you know what? They've tightened up. And you know what? I can subscribe to that. I don't think every time that a faction or a tag team or something deal with some adversity, it doesn't have to immediately lead to a breakup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's good for the story and it's good for the character development that they go through those, they go through the adversity together and become stronger from it. So I think that with Judgment Day, I think you're correct. I think it's serving its purpose. I think eventually we will see a new member, and it's just going to give somebody who needs that time to go out there and just show what they can do that very opportunity.
And I think that's going to come after Finn Balor is separated from Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So out of anyone leaving, I think he has the most probability of being the one.
Yeah, I think so. Going back to Grun's comments here about
Mhm.
AJ Styles, he says AJ Styles is a safe pick for Logan. Logan has been getting more exposure this year than he has in his entire time in WWE, and that is exposing that he is good when you don't give him a lot of time on the mic in a more controlled environment.
I agree.
So I agree with that. He says plus Fraxium needs to stay in NXT because there isn't a team ready to fill their spot. There
Nope.
isn't. There isn't. Fraxium is by far the best tag team in NXT. There's absolutely nobody to fill that spot at this point. That's why you're having to pull the Hardy Boys from TNA to come and fight them on what's one of your biggest what Roadblock ended up being one of their bigger shows of the year
Hmm.
only a mere month before Stand and Deliver. That's
Hmm.
insane. But yeah, I mean, now the begs the question: who's going to face Fraxium at Stand and Deliver? Because they don't have a viable tag team. Are they going to have to pull from TNA again? Or are they going to have to pull from the Indies? They just don't have a tag team ready for them right now. But I will say this: getting back to the Judgment Day, I think there is a spot for them. I just think that give them a purpose. Give them
Hmm.
some linear purpose, and let's see something with Finn. How do we make Finn work? It's not a conversation we need to have right now,
I had an
but
interesting thought though.
okay.
Judgment Day should run amok on NXT. Why not?
That could, yeah,
Why not?
it could be. But you know what? The only thing about that, I
Mhm.
love it, but the only thing about it is it kind of conflicts with that faction that they have at NXT that's running amok there now. So it'd be like putting a hat on a hat, I guess, in that way.
Sure. That gets tired.
Yeah, but I like the idea. It's just
Mhm.
I thought about it. I'm like, well, they're already kind of doing something
Sure.
like that with that new team, but I like it though.
Hmm.
But I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up because we. So the United States Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura dropped it on uh on
Ellie Knight. Yeah.
SmackDown
Yeah.
to LA Knight. LA Knight wins the championship again after winning a number one contenders match against the Miz and then having to win a tournament to get the number one contendership again. I didn't understand that. Then went on to beat Shinsuke Nakamura to win the United States Championship. I'll tell you, they went back quick to give it to LA Knight. Quick. Um, the Shinsuke Nakamura character is awesome. I love it. I loved where they're going with it. Him as the United States champion, it was not good. I mean, there was just seemed to be no direction. Seems to be no. I mean, they had to give it back to LA Knight, and honestly, to me, and there's rumors that Shinsuke had a death in the family. I don't speak on that too much because I don't know, and that's not my business, But I really thought they would have possibly made LA Chase up until like uh WrestleMania at least, but no, they did it on the SmackDown and they did it fast. Like they once the rumor, like not the rumors, but like the word around the internet and the IWC is that we love Nakamura, but his United States title run is horrible. And as soon as they got a hold of that, it was like, all right, let's take it off of him. Something's going on, something's up. Put it on LA Knight. Let's try to do something with that. Boom, 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 boom. And I was like, okay, so like now the United States champion is of course LA Knight. So I need you to help me understand because the Intercontinental Championship is got a lot of contenders right now. Braun Breaker is a more than reliable champion as far as being that guy. He's dropped it, got it back, and he's done good business as the mid card champion so far. I believe, in my opinion, I think he's been a really good
I think he's been really excellent.
yeah, I think he's been a really good IC
Hmm.
champion. So help me understand uh why should I be excited for a US championship WrestleMania match more than I should be for an intercontinental championship WrestleMania match?
Oh no, another perplexing one.
Yes. Yeah, it's a hard one.
How do I present a case when I don't really believe in it? Oh, that's hard.
Yep. There you
Um,
go. There you go. That's the whole point.
and especially because a lot of what has been said about Shinsuke Nakamura's title run, that's how LA Knight's title run. That's how that hit for me.
Yeah.
Especially when he won it back so quickly, and there might be extenuating circumstances why that decision had to be made. But this is a really interesting opportunity to see, like, okay, what is WWE going to do creatively? How during this run, how is it going to be different from the last? How is LA Knight going to get a different edge? What kind of challenges will he be put in for that to happen? It's one of those things, like, we are in we're on that path to Mania, so anything can happen. And just because the cards might not be on the table right now, there's huge potential in it. So that's what's exciting about it to me. That's
sure.
why, give it a chance. What can happen? There's a reason why LA Knight is in that position. He's good on a mic. He has a look. But was he necessarily the candidate for it right now?
Sure. Hey, tag me in.
He tagged. It's all you.
All right. So here's why I guess I'm helping myself understand why I should be more excited for that match, the US title match at WrestleMania, than the IC title match at WrestleMania. It's because of this. I think for me, I'm not buying stock in the United States Championship now. I'm buying stock and preparing to hold for after WrestleMania, because I don't think the compelling part of the United States Championship is who's holding it right now. It's who's going to be the one who's going to be taking it off of LA Knight. And right now, with the trajectory and the way that he's moving, I think there's a good chance that there could be a situation where Carmelo Hayes could come up and win the United States Championship and be the next United States champion. And I think that he'd be a great next champion. I think Carmelo Hayes is somebody who's been bred to be a top guy, a champion. He wasn't a NXT North American champion and then an NXT champion for no reason. Obviously, they have big plans for him. So and here's another thing. I think with Carmelo, I think the best presentation for Carmelo, because right now he's trying to get it out the mud. He's picking fights with guys and he's trying to get his name up and whatnot.
Yeah, he's like clawing for relevancy.
Exactly. So that's where he's at.
Yeah.
But I think that you present, I think that the Carmelo Hayes presentation is better when he's a cocky champion. When he has something, he's like, yeah, I'm the United States champion. I'm the best. I'm him. I'm the, I'm going to be the greatest United States champion ever. Something that he can cling to, like he did in NXT, that he could be like, hey, I'm that guy. I'm that dude. I'm a champion. I'm the most important champion on this brand. Like just be in that lane. And if he could be in that lane and own that, like he's done, like I said, they're breeding him to be that next guy. So, you put him in that spot, you give him that opportunity, and you start it with him being the United States champion. But I think if you want to grow some interest in that match, you got to put him in it, because I think that there's a growing thought that past LA Knight, there's like no United States champion contenders. Like nobody could, if I put a gun to your head and said, who do you think is going to win the championship? Who do you think is going to win the championship off of LA Knight not named Carmelo Hayes, who would you say? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would stutter for a second.
exactly. Like it's you can't say it because there's nobody, so like I think that if you want to make that match compelling, it's got to be about who's going to be the champion next, not who's the champion now.
And you know what? LA Knight has carried it once before, so that's a smart choice for it to have it in the meantime.
Yeah, for sure. Like I do think this is transitional. I do, because I don't think you put the title on LA. I think that U.S. title run was a test for something else. Is this a guy who can be a world heavyweight champion in time? I don't think you put it on him twice because, well, that's just the plan. I think they did it because it made sense in the time that things have been happening with whatever's happening with Shinsuke Nakamura.
And you know what? I didn't hear that rumor about there being a potential death in the family. I heard something that there's no interest in moving with him forward. So
that's another thing I heard too.
Yeah,
and
I was kind of shocked.
I think
I
listen, I hate to say this, it hurts because I'm a huge Nakamura fan. When he signed with the company, oh my God, because I watched him so much in New Japan and I know how good he is. And it hurts me to say this. Since he came to the main roster, it's felt so forced to try to make him work. And I just don't see him ever popping in WWE. I don't like.
And do you think that's because of how his career has been booked?
I think,
and because not everyone's style can work for the WWE model.
I don't think his style. I don't think it's not a bad thing. I don't think his style works for the WWE model. I think the way his match style isn't what people want to see. Like the heavy striking, like I like striking. Don't get me wrong. I like striking, but people want to see back and forths and like Shinsuke's striking style. It's so like it's ugly on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ugly on purpose. Right. It's not polished. Like I don't think his style in a lot of different ways appeals to WWE.
Like the theatrical part of it.
There's just no way to present him in a storyline, like they did it a couple times, like that stuff he did with Cody where he was doing the Christmas carols and stuff like that. But it's Cody Rhodes, and one thing about Cody Rhodes is that boy gonna tell you a story. Like he'll make you work with damn near anybody. But like with Shinsuke, it's just, I don't know, like as much as I've been like, oh, and I was excited when he won the title. I was like, this is gonna be great. And then the championship reign happened, and I'm like, this ain't nothing. Like I think for the company's sake and for the good of Shinsuke's career, there needs to be separation.
I agree with that.
So that's the best we could say. Like I said, the U.S. title, not as compelling as the IC title, but there's ways you could get it there. All you got to do is make it, and once again, we're in a time in WWE where you don't know what they're going to do. So we'll see what shakes next. But I got my last one here, and I got to tell you, I talked a little bit about that cage match that happened this past Monday, and my goodness, it was a great match. Seth and Punk just know how to tear it up. They know how to, like, they made you care. I'm somebody who, when I am a cage match, I'm like, I don't get too crazy about a cage match, to be honest with you.
But it was the people in the cage.
Yeah, exactly. And the intent. And yeah, it was really good. And then of course you had Roman Reigns, who he didn't care. Like he dragged Seth's ass out of that ring. Seth wins the match, which now is going to create it's definitely going to create a problem with Punk because he cost Punk the match, then speared him after the fact, with Heyman looking on, for his friend, and he's a Heyman guy. Punk's a Heyman guy. It's created so many different storylines here with this triple threat match. Then Roman getting his get back with the stomp on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins looking like he's seen a ghost when he saw him. And my God, it's just such a good storyline. But also, it's like we talked a little bit about earlier with everything happening with Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. And I got to tell you, man, I love the moment that they had in the ring where
good.
Bianca Belair was in Rhea Ripley's face. Rhea Ripley was in Bianca Belair's face. They were head to head, toe to toe. Every time the champion, Io Sky, tried to put her 2 cents in, she's getting pushed back, disrespected.
That would piss me off as champion, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Like Rhea, trust me, I'm about to rave about this segment. Like, let me cook for a second because I'm about to rave.
Yep,
Rhea Ripley pushes Io Sky's face out the way, and the crowd is like, "Ooh!"
And how she did it too, like
like pushed her all the way back. It was disrespectful.
Right.
Then Bianca Belair, she's clapping back at Rhea Ripley, and Io once again trying to get her 2 cents in. And guess what? Bianca Belair pushes Io Sky's face back, and just like it just made it seem like, are we making the champion feel like an afterthought? I didn't like where it was going for a second because I was like, listen, I love Rhea and I love Bianca, but are we really gonna do that to Io during her run here as champion? And then what happened after that was magical because Io Sky straight up stood on business. She smacked the shit out of Rhea Ripley, then went ahead and slapped the shit out of Bianca Belair. And that slap, I heard that slap from that Bianca Belair slap.
The living room.
It did. It did, but I gotta tell you, I mean, and then, like I said, Io standing on business, just letting it be known right there in the ring that she's the champion. You need to worry about her. I don't care about what y'all are talking about. Y'all want to fight me for this. Like Io Sky, I gotta tell you, like, if you're new to wrestling and you're trying to get me to understand the importance of wrestling at WrestleMania, show me Io Sky the last couple of weeks. Show me Io Sky when Rhea Ripley cost her opportunity at the championship. Show me Io Sky when she beat Rhea Ripley to win the championship. Show me Io Sky getting disrespected and saying, I'm the champion. Like, you show me those clips, and I've never seen wrestling before, and you're trying to get me to understand why WrestleMania is so important, show me that, because Io Sky is making me believe like, hey, she gives a shit about wrestling at WrestleMania, and she gives a shit about wrestling at WrestleMania as the champion. And I just think I appreciate the importance that Io Sky has put on just wrestling at WrestleMania. Everything that she had said is like, you cost me my spot, now I'm gonna get my get back. Like, that shit's fire to me. So for me to say that is for me to say this. Help me understand, with everything that we're seeing with Roman Reigns, Punk, and Seth, and how amazing that storyline is, why should I be just as compelled by Bianca, Io, and Rhea Ripley?
Because these women have been putting in the work for so long, and both of them are different but such important representation of women that they absolutely deserve for everyone to tune in. They deserve everyone's attention. These women have been involved in such heavy-hitting storylines in their own right. Rhea, enduring the humiliation that she did at SummerSlam, and how she's lost the belt and how she's regained it. You have to plunge yourself into the deep end, and you have to swim back. That doesn't come easily, and the back and forth between Io and Bianca over the last year, and how that storyline has changed but still evolved at the same time. That's so interesting. And I thought it was going to be Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania, but this is how we get our triple threat. And just a lot of the interactions of these women, they have been rerouted and redirected in different ways, but all of those it's been written that way so that when it finally comes to WrestleMania, it'll come to a head, and then you'll see the overarching storylines with all of the small details that have been implanted over the course of the last year. And that's something that's been more overt in storyline telling, and that's something you would have had to pay attention to, because on the other hand, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Punk, they've been consciously involved in each other's storylines. From week to week, they've been different things come up that we care about, and that has been playing out in front of our eyes. Whereas the women, you've had to pay attention to it. Why do they have equal cause to be fighting for the championship at WrestleMania? That's really gonna come to a head when we get there.
Hey, I listen. I knew that one was going to be a layup for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just knew it was, because it involves these three amazing women here, mm-hmm. and the story is cooked. It really has. And not to say, Punk and Roman and Seth, they're going to do their thing. Don't get me wrong. That's going to be fire. But I do think that this story that they're telling with Io, Bianca, and Rhea, if you're not paying attention to it, you need to be. Like, it's not only is it going to be two of, let's not forget, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair have shared a WWE 2K video game mm-hmm. cover together.
Right.
These are perennial superstars that you're seeing in ads and have held championships and whatnot. But let's not forget, Io Sky is a badass in her own right. Yeah, you might not see her in all the ads or anything like that you're seeing these other two women in. She's a staple. Absolutely. So we can't forget about the chaos that is Io Sky for sure. So most definitely, I knew that one would be a good one to ask about, just because I think both triple threats are going to cook. And you got Grunmeister in here saying, he says, Rhea, Io, and Bianca are absolutely the top three women in the whole WWE right now. Tiffy is number 4 for sure, but these three have had the biggest personalities, the biggest moments, and no other women can control the crowd like they can. With all three in the match, there is no way to know which one will win. I agree with that. And I think we like the unpredictability. I think that's where it needs to be at. And I think that's going to be where we're at with a lot of I think there's going to be some matches that's going to be like, I think we're obvious. Like, we're going to see that. Mm-hmm. I'll say this. If Jey Uso doesn't win the title at WrestleMania, I will be very shocked. I'll be surprised if Gunther retains. But I think a lot of these matches are like, I can't really tell you which way it's going to go. And that's a good thing. That's where we need to be at. But yeah, that was helped me understand. And I think, Annie, you did a real good job of helping me understand a few things that I had questions about as far as what's going down on the road to WrestleMania.
I have one more question for you, Con.
Sure.
Do you think Cody needs to lose at WrestleMania? Do you think John Cena needs to win? And does it have to be at WrestleMania?
It doesn't have to be at WrestleMania, no. But I think that, let's not forget, Cody's held the title for almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's had a respectable title reign. Nobody's thinking this man. I don't. If you're thinking he's going to hold the title as much or as or longer than Roman Reigns' title reign, you are absolutely out of your mind. We're not going to see a
Mm-hmm.
reign like that for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a year for Cody is respectable. And I do think there's a reality now that where we could see John Cena win the 17th title at WrestleMania. And then the
Mm-hmm.
story there is that Cody's going to have to try to scratch and claw his way back to win it back.
Mm-hmm.
And not only defeat John Cena, but kind of hold a mirror to John Cena and be like, hey, this is what you've become. And then that's when we see John Cena kind of be like, oh my God, this is who I became to get the 17th title. I need to get myself back. And that's where we see the redemption arc. And I do feel like this is all going to happen within a year's time.
When
It
does
is
the
not going to be
retirement tour
linear.
end for Cena?
His last date is supposed to be in December.
Okay. Because I don't think he'll retire as a champion, and I don't
I
think
don't
he
think
needs
so
a long
either.
title run either.
No, I don't think. I definitely not. Definitely
Mhm.
not.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. People don't remember that John Cena's 16th title reign was 2 weeks. He held the
Mhm.
title for 2 weeks. So a lot of people don't remember that. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was the 16th title reign. So no, he doesn't have to. This title reign, this 17th title reign, it doesn't have to be overly impressive. He just has to
Mhm.
get it, And where I thought that we're gonna tell a story of good guy Cena, good guy Cena chasing and clawing his way to try to get to the 17th title. I think there's going to be a different story where Cena's decided to sell his soul to get that 17th title at WrestleMania. Then Cody builds himself back up to
Mhm.
take the title off of him. Then Cena's kind of looking like, what have I done? What have I become? And now we kind of have to see him, try to curry favor and become the Cena that we once loved before he
He'll win
retired.
everyone back. He will. It's John Cena.
Oh, I know. That's the
Yeah.
story. That's the story he's telling. I
Yeah.
think I
That's
do.
what I.
It's good.
That's the story I want to be told.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a great story. It's a great story, and that's a great story.
And I like being right.
Yeah, for sure. There's that too. There is that too. It's most definitely a good story. But this was a great episode here at In Your House, and of course, I got to give my co-host an opportunity to plug anything that you want to plug, where they can catch you at, anything that you're doing that you want the household to know. Go ahead and let them know.
Well, I'm in the gym so many times a week and just getting those gains. Tomorrow I will be returning to CCW at our weekly show in New Baltimore, Michigan. Big things are going down. That was really cool. We just had Keep It Moving 3. We had the second WWE EID showcase at our promotion. That was really cool. That was with Marcus Mather. No, that was last week. Never mind. I'm in a time warp. I don't know what's going on. I barely know what day it is. Daylight savings time really messed me up. And this weekend I will be in Toledo for CIW, so lots of good things going down there. Yeah. 1 foot forward each moment, one thought at a time. We hold it down. That's how we do. How about you, friend? What's going on for you?
Of course, I'm here doing my thing in your house always, and yeah, I'm just always keeping it moving. A merge coming up a little bit later on this month. I'll be on vacation. I'll be on vacation. Not next week, but the week after that. So it's gonna be a little bit of a staycation. Gonna be staying home and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is for all this behind me to look completely different by the time my vacation is over.
There you go.
I'm spending some time to upgrade my studio and do some things here that I've been wanting to do that I haven't had the time to do. So I'm going to be really focusing on that. That's going to be great. But once again, right here doing my thing at In Your House and upgrading my studio and trying to make it all better and continue to give these people out here in the household this work. That's exactly what it is. It's work. That's HOWSC. That W does stand for work. So for Divinely designed Annie O'Neill for the whole team here at In Your House. Guys, I need you to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth.